Okay, so I just want to talk about posture and the setup position and how much it can actually have an influence on your golf swing. And I'm sure you either yourself, if you've ever videoed your golf swing, or if you have, next time you go and play, if you have a little look down, as opposed to some of the better golfers that you might play golf with, you will generally see quite a big difference in the postural position, and that's why I really want to talk about it. So the first thing that I tend to see with a golfer who I'm looking down at and I'm sort of thinking, you might not be the most athletic golfer in the world, is somebody who sort of looks a little this way in the setup position. So both arms are a little bit folded, okay? Club shaft will end up being quite vertical, maybe a little bit too much knee flex, and you're sort of thinking, right, from this type of position here, the likelihood is your hands are going to get really close to your body, or you're generally going to struggle. Now you compare that to a golfer who looks a little bit more this way, a little bit more shaft lean, so the shaft falls on the instep of the thigh, wider stance, so if you drew a line vertically through either hip joint, it falls on your ankle line, and should we say more of a straight arm relationship, so they look this way. Now all of a sudden this type of golfer here at least looks like they're going to have the capacity to be able to produce more speed. So what it is that's the difference, generally speaking, in my opinion, is one, obviously being slightly aware of these sort of, vulnerabilities and frailties, but two, it's a lot to do from the sidearm perspective. So again, if I sort of go with quite a large amount of quite a large amount of frontal bend this way, then there's a really good chance that my arms are going to have to pull up, otherwise the club's too long relative to where I am, right? So my arms are going to have to fold up a little bit. And that's one of the things that I do tend to see. I tend to see a lot of students still come through that door for lessons, and they have a tendency to really sit down, so the hip falls too far behind the ankle line. To compensate for this, they obviously go more over the golf ball. This then encourages the arms to really fold, and like I say, you already look stuck before you've got going. The other thing that I want to allude to as well is because people paint narratives in their head, so what they tend to do is they tend to go like, oh, I don't want to use my legs too much, I don't want to over move, I want to use the ground, all this sort of terminology. You then start operating in like a squat position where you notice like you're sitting down and your muscular activation is huge. Like, yes, you are pushing into the floor, but that's not really the idea in the posture. So much so that, when I sort of sometimes in a lesson, I might just sort of, just try and help a person get a feeling for the first movement in the golf swing, and that person's gripping the living daylights out of the club. It's like, I can't intervene. Let's say I'm trying to get them to learn how to sort of turn the pelvis into the leg. I can't help them because they're so tense and so much this way. So I thought it was really important to have a reflection about the posture, because it's obviously a common thread that I tend to talk about. So the routine that I always encourage people to do is stand up nice and straight. Make sure that your bum's not excessively sticking back, so that if your belt line's roughly pretty horizontal, put your hands on the front of your thighs. Try and relax your body, first of all. Just relax. And then put your hands on the front of your thighs, and then just try and reach down to your knees without your bum excessively sticking out. So it feels a little bit more like it's an upper body motion over, and then just do a little bit of softening. But softening it so you can move, like chill, And then the difference is, once you sort of relax and you feel like you're reaching for it a little bit more this way instead of this way, your arms are able to stay straighter. So if I sort of set up now from this perspective, see my arms are straighter, but I'm still very relaxed, as opposed to I'm not down here and then trying to force them straight. And then that's what, you see people that shove the club out here somewhere. It's because they know their arms should be straight. They're so far over the ball. So I do think your postural thing is absolutely huge. It's huge. It's probably the most important thing when you think about it. Because if you're getting your angles wrong and then you're trying to turn and move in a certain way, you're going to be massively fighting a losing battle. So I think the idea of this video really is just to sort of, get you guys questioning where you are in your posture. And, making sure that you're standing a little bit taller, relaxing so your muscles aren't aching, and too activated. Get your upper body to reach over so your arms hang vertically down more towards your toe line, and then that's your sort of setup position where you are here. Certainly not like this and then pushing your arms out this way. And then from that face-on perspective, as I said earlier, you want to be getting those hands just a little bit forward ahead of the golf ball, and then your arms will be straight because of your posture from the side perspective, and all of a sudden you look like you're ready to go. Hopefully this helps. Let me know. See you soon.